Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Thursday afternoon video, right here on Metal God 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now. And as always, when we get serious, I don't do my long-winded intro. So, because we get serious here when it's time to get serious. But on my other videos, when I do my music-related videos, I do a little bit more of an intro, tell you about to subscribe to my other channels and hit the bell and all that other stuff. But when I do my tribute videos, which are not for clout, we get a lot of views, great. But it is what it is. I don't do it for clout. I don't disrespect the dead or anything like that. You think that, then you're being disrespectful to me. So you can kiss my ass. So that's all I gotta say about that. But like I said, no big intro. Let's get to the topic at hand really quickly, because I got other things to do with my day, and I think you do too. But it is what it is. Now, if you've been following my channel over the last couple of videos, I've done a lot of tribute videos to the faithful departed in the world of wrestling. And also, I did a music-related tribute video to John Sykes of the great band Whitesnake, who passed away I think it was last week. So, just big shock to the heavy metal classic rock realm, as John Sykes passed away last week, I believe, due to cancer. The ever popular killer of, well, I hate to use the term of one of my channels, but the killer of demons, which is cancer. Fucking cancer, like that. But that's the way it is, we don't have no cure as of right now for cancer, and probably never will in my lifetime, or in your lifetime, whether it be around my age or younger. By the time you hit my age and older, probably there will never be a cure for cancer. But I know the medical field is rapidly trying to find a cure for cancer, or and the other different diseases that we have. So, in the next century, like the 22nd century, we'll have, if, none of us will be here by then, but, some of you who grew up in the 2000s might, but who knows, but, hopefully, in the next lifetime, when we come back, if you guys believe in reincarnation, when we come back, there will be cures for cancer, but then again, who knows? You never know when we're going to come back. When we die, we go to heaven, and then, eventually we'll come back as an animal, or whatever we come back as, if we all believe in reincarnation and, the second life, and the next life, as they say. But, it is what it is. I don't know, I don't know anything about the afterlife. I mean, I'm trying to learn about, what can happen in the afterlife, and I talked to, my loved ones in the afterlife, my nana, and, some of my grandparents, back in a long time ago I did that, but, haven't done it since, but, using the Ouija board and all that shit, but, blah, 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 but, it would be nice to, find out what happens in the afterlife, You go to heaven, and then you're with your loved ones and all the other people that passed on before us, and then, at a certain point, you come back, it's like the Matrix, almost. Not I wouldn't say like the Matrix, but, in the Matrix, you're in this, cocoon-like state, and then, all this gook, and then next thing you know, you're born, but, you know how it is, but, anyway, I'm going completely off topic, but it is what it is. But, hopefully, when we pass away, we'll be with our loved ones that passed on before us, and then, eventually, later on, we'll, come back in the next life, in our second life, or whatever it may be. But anyway, moving on with that. So I do those type of videos. I also do music-related videos that are tributes, and I also do music news. I do music-related topics. I have posted some concert footage that I've taken pretty much over the last 2 years. I got more to come, maybe this spring and summer. We'll see about that. Not sure, but there might be some coming in the next couple months. But I do all that, so if you like that, then subscribe to the channel and all that good shit. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we lost a lot of people so far in the first almost month of 2025. Like I said, we lost John Sykes. And in the last couple of weeks, we lost a couple of great people in the wrestling realm. We lost Black Bart earlier this month. He was 76. I have notes. So, we also lost Sweet Daddy Siki, who was part of Maple Leaf Wrestling. He died, right at the start of the year, right around New Year's Eve, he died, and then we found out New Year's Day that he passed on, and he was 91. And I didn't know about this one, but Hunter Robbins III, who is the early manager of Sabu, the great Sabu, in his ECW debut. He also managed the Suicide Blondes in ECW and the Super Destroyers. He passed away at the age of 91 as well. But we have our fourth, I believe it's our fourth wrestling-related death as a couple of days ago, and I'm a little bit late to the party, as I always am, but, I'm busy with work and other things, so I can't get the videos, right out, But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, a couple of days ago, we lost controversial 1980s wrestler Ed Wiskaski. I always have a problem with these names. I'm sorry about that, but it is what it is. Ed Wiskaski, who, as we all know, if you follow along the NWA and the AWA back in the day, he was known as Colonel Debeers and had mega feuds with guys like Sergeant Slaughter, and eventually, later on, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He passed away a couple days ago at the age of 80. So that great, ripe, old age of 80. The Cauliflower Alley Club, which helps people in the wrestling industry, announced it on X the other day, and I quote, "It is with profound sadness that the Cauliflower Alley Club announces the passing of Ed Wiskowski, better known to wrestling fans as Colonel Debeers, at the age of 80. We extend our sincerest condolences to his family, friends, and fans worldwide." So, not a great time to be, wrestling fan. We lost so many last year, and we just had the 2-year anniversary of the late, great Jay Briscoe, who passed away in 2023. And, Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt's coming up on, I think a year, 2 years, as of this year, would be 2 years. So that's not fun. But we always, and we just had, Brody Lee pass away, I think about 3 years ago. So we always remember Brody Lee, we always will remember Bray Wyatt, and also Terry Funk, and Jay Briscoe. Daphne's coming up on 4 years. I still, religiously remember her on her birthday, which is coming up in a couple months, and right around Labor Day is when she passed away, coming up on 4 years. So, and in my personal life, next week, I got two big people that passed away, not many, but, so I lost my grandmother 20 some odd years ago, next week, and I also lost my brother from another mother 5 years ago, next week. So it's not going to be a great week, going into next weekend for me personally, because, I'll be thinking about my grandmother and my brother from another mother, who passed away next week. But so it's not going to be an easy time. The tears are going to be coming down my face, not on video, of course, because I don't do that. Going to be strong for the people, and that's pretty much it for that. But just sad that Colonel Debeers, and I grew up kind of watching him in the AWA back in the day, back in my day, the early '80s with the AWA, and that's it. A little bit of backstory if you don't know who the fuck he is. He began his wrestling career in 1972, became a star on the West Coast, primarily in San Francisco and Portland. He formed a successful tag team with Playboy Buddy Rose, we all remember him, who also gained national fame in the 80s while working with the AWA, the American Wrestling Association. And he wrestled under a lot of names, including his real name, Ed Wiskowski, but he's been well known as Colonel Debeers, a pro-apartheid character inspired by South Africa's sensitive political and racial climate, with the Nelson Mandela stuff back in the 80s, and all that stuff. But in 2003, he did a shoot interview. He revealed the inspiration behind some of his characters, and he'd been wrestling in Europe for some time, and when he returned to the States, he noticed a dramatic shift in the wrestling scene, and he says, and I quote, "The business seemed to do an about-face, and so you couldn't no longer just be a plain, ordinary guy. You had to dress it up, kind of change it up. That's what a lot of wrestlers are doing nowadays. They're using pop culture things, or things that are happening in the world to kind of change their character around, using some stuff in promos here and there. So, you gotta change with the times." So when Colonel Debeers did that, he spent a lot of time in South Africa, so was familiar with the South African apartheid and the culture and everything else, so it was kind of natural to me to just assume being a pro-apartheid character, kind of like when Sergeant Slaughter turned on America and joined up with the Iron Sheik and Colonel Adnan, and was, pro-Iraq when the Iraqi war happened, that stuff in the early 90s, and he went against Hogan, who was pro-American, and you never thought that Sergeant Slaughter, of all people, would turn heel and turn on America and get with, an not Iraqi / Iranian, like the Iron Sheik and Colonel Adnan, and, the Hogan Slaughter thing, which culminated at WrestleMania 7 when Hogan won the title, but then we all know what happened after that, where Hogan got blinded by a fireball from Sergeant Slaughter, and then Hogan, his eyes got all fucked up. Not the first time that happened there, Hogan. And then later on, which became SummerSlam, I think 92, which was the ever popular Match Made in Heaven, Match Made in Hell match, where we saw Hogan face Sergeant Slaughter in probably one of the first ever guerrilla warfare matches. And then you had Miss Elizabeth and Randy Savage, get married, blah, blah, blah. But, but you never saw somebody like Sergeant Slaughter, like I said, turn heel. I'm like, why did you do that? But he had to change his character around, and Hogan was, a big, huge star back in WWE, so you didn't want to have two pro-Americans, even though I don't even remember if Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter ever teamed up. I could be wrong on that, but in any case, when, this kind of brings us back to Colonel Debeers in the, the early to mid-'80s with the South African apartheid thing with Nelson Mandela and everything going on in South Africa. That's what Colonel Debeers had to do. He had to change his gimmick a little bit, his character. And you see that pretty much in every freaking promotion, even in the indie scene. guys will be faces for like 5 years, and I'm like, let's change it up. I can't be the same lovey-dovey, I love the fans, guy. We just had a world champion, a couple weeks ago turn back to heel because he was tired of being a face and being the old goody two-shoes guy, and So now he's back as a heel, and see how that goes in his second reign as world champ. But in any case, wrestling for the AWA, Ed Wiskowski, Turner of the Debeers, had a hellacious, violent, racially charged feud with Superfly Jimmy Snuka that pretty much pissed the fans off royally. In one of the memorable moments, Colonel DeBeers blindsided Snuka during a match, sending him crashing headfirst on the floor. I think he was busted wide open, too. I don't really remember most of that, but anyway, Colonel DeBeers then delivered a power driver on the concrete, which left him more of a bloody mess. And, his character was just too hot for, for the wrestling times back then, and, he got involved with Sergeant Slaughter as well, but it was his transformation from basically a good guy, like a good, soldier, to pro-apartheid South African, don't give a fuck about America or anything else, was, at the time, it was really hot. And then when Sergeant Slaughter turned heel with the Iraq-Iran war and all that stuff that happened in the 90s, Operation Desert Storm, shit like that. The fans even got more. Well, Sergeant Slaughter got a ton of heat with that. And, you had to find a pro-American guy to stop this, and it was Hogan. At the time, back then, you had Sergeant Slaughter and eventually Jimmy Snuka trying to stop this, and eventually they did. But, like I said, Colonel DeBeers' character was so freaking hot that the fans hated him. And the fans had not seen him in other roles. They didn't even recognize him when he changed gimmicks, over the years. And upon hearing the news of his passing, the great man that he is, our Uncle Bill Apter of OneWrestling.com described him as a really, really, really great heel. Great character in the days when characters were in question. Everybody, even though he was Ed Wiskowski, nobody questioned when he returned to various territories as Colonel DeBeers. And that's pretty much it. So, just a sad day in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a long time, way back in the day, AWA fan, like I was growing up, really, I did watch a little bit of the AWA when I was a little bitty Hulkster dude, then I started getting into the World Class Championship Wrestling, with the likes of Nature Boy Ric Flair and the Von Erichs, and then I got into WWF at the time, not WWF, it was after it took the W out, the other W, but, I got into that, with Hogan, and going to WrestleMania 1 for the very first time with my dad and everything, and then WrestleMania, I didn't go to WrestleMania 2, but I did go to WrestleMania 3 at the Nassau Coliseum when it was closed circuit TV, like the infancy of pay-per-view, which now it's called Premium Live Event. Stupidest fucking name ever. But, I've been a long-time wrestling fan since I was a little bitty baby dude. Little bitty Hulkster dude, So I know a lot about the wrestling industry. I've been in the wrestling industry. I know the ins and outs of the wrestling industry. I was trained by the great Joel Maximo, but, certain things from the past I don't really remember because, I'm getting old. I'm 48 right now, so I don't remember a lot of things from the early 80s to pretty much from the 80s through most of the Attitude Era. I know some things. The early days of the NWA and then WCW. Not much knowledge there, but I do remember a lot of things here and there, but, nowadays, with my memory kind of going bye-bye, which sucks, because, like I said, I'm almost 50, and I don't remember a lot of things from the 80s, except for the music, but, but I do remember a lot of some things from the 80s, especially certain things from the AWA, and Colonel Debeers was, like I said, when I was watching it early on, I was scared to death. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? But, and I saw Sergeant Slaughter, with the American flag, like, oh, it's a real American, he's like a soldier, and everything, and then watching Superfly's Jimmy Snuka before he hit it big in WWF, at the time with the Don Morocco feud, and then the Roddy Piper feud, all that great stuff back in the day. The AWA was, probably it was the precursor to the WWF and then the WWF, so you had that nice bridge going into the WWF, and Hogan was there, a lot of great stars with it, Nick Bockwinkel, people like that. So, just a great time in the early to mid-'80s for a wrestling fan growing up in the business, not knowing, like, oh, the blood's fake, this and that, Well, most of the blood was fake, but, nobody knew that, oh, wrestling is fake, this and that, you thought it was real back in the day when you were an early little bitty Hulkster dude. You don't know. Like, oh, this is, he's not really hurt, This and that. We didn't know what a work was, or a shoot, or a shwork. We didn't know about what a storyline was, what an angle was. So, like, why is this still going on, But now, as we grew older, and, with the birth of the internet, we knew what a shwork was, what a jobber was, and this and that, all the wrestling terms we know and love. Back in the day, we didn't know that. Now we do. But some of you people that are in the so-called wrestling community still don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You come out with these mind-boggling fucking opinions that are just mind-boggling. Like, what? We get the AEW fans, going after the WWE fans because WWE fans hate AEW so much. And then they go after us for our own opinion and shit like that. Let me just say, I have my own opinions about the wrestling business and how WWE works and NXT and, Ring of Honor and AEW. Not so much New Japan because I don't do really stupid shit. But the main promotions like AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, NXT, main roster, WWE, there's a lot of things that I hate about it, and I'll talk about it, and yeah, I'll get some heat here and there for it, but it's just my opinion. But if you're going to come out on YouTube or on social media and give one of the most mind-boggling opinions of your life, then yeah, you deserve to get a lot of heat and a lot of, attention and a lot of, bullshit. But don't take it too far and all that shit. That's the thing I hate about the wrestling community, that they take things so fucking seriously and then they do all this corny kindergarten bullshit that I won't discuss. But, if you don't like somebody's opinion, that's one thing. But don't, go say, oh, I don't like your opinion, you're a piece of shit, and then it becomes like a 7-year obsession. Because you hate that guy's opinion. It is what it is. I mean, I hate certain people on this website like JD, and I'll mention a couple names, JD, Sean's View Entertainment, because I hate their opinion, and their opinions are pretty much mind-boggling, but, it is what it is, and I go on with my snide remarks about their, their manhood and everything, but, they're probably the most revered people in the community. People say I am, but no. Not even close, but, because there are other people worse off than me, just saying. But if you want to think that I'm the worst person on YouTube, that's, go with that, and, see how many actual morons actually believe your bullshit with no valid facts, but it is just what it is. But in any case, but, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one and everybody is one. But there are a lot of big-time assholes in this wrestling community, and JD and Jonesville are probably the biggest ones, But that's just my opinion. Like I said, my opinion. If you like them, great for you. I don't watch them. I don't care about them. They got a lot of subs, great. They get a lot of views, great. Comments, great. But as people in the wrestling community, I personally think their opinions are just ridiculous. Some of them, JD thinks AEW is the worst fucking promotion ever. Yeah, but certain things that they're doing over the last year or two have been really dumb, and AEW last night was probably one of the worst Dynamites I've ever seen in my 5 years of watching the program. Horrible show. It felt like I'm watching part Collision, part Rampage, part Elevation, and Dark. I'm like, what is this? What the fuck was that last night? It seems like Tony Khan, and I agreed with some people on Twitter, Tony Khan does not give a flying fuck about his promotion. He doesn't care. All he's doing is in the back, snorting a line of cocaine. He's got idiots behind him that don't even know how to fucking book or creative. He has no creative team. I don't even think AEW ever had a creative team. And if they did, you know what they are? The ever popular. They're uncreative about being creative. Jericho even, dissed WWE for them being uncreative. But now, certain things in WWE and NXT, you're like, okay, this is great. But certain times, like, why? Why are they continuing feuds that, that have been going on for like 6 months? And then there'll be feuds that are going on, they forget about them, and then like 4 or 5 months later we come back to it. I'm like, what happened in between? Why do we stop? Oh, that's right, because it sucked. And now we're back to it again? Why? And that's why people in the audience and people online and people doing the reviews and watch-alongs, they're like, we're like, why? This is still happening. And you got all these characters that are just boring, like William Yuta. Sometimes Darby, boring. In some ways, Orange Cassidy, he's the same guy we all know and love from PWG. Darby, the same way from his Evolve days. These certain characters need to change. I think Austin Theory needs a change. I think we're going to get it right after Vengeance Day. He's going to hopefully become a face on the main roster, or he stays in NXT. Who knows what's going to happen? Because that whole Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, 8-Town Down Under thing is kind of getting boring. It is what it is, and then we got people going from Raw to SmackDown. Is it good? I don't know. Selena Vega's going to SmackDown starting tomorrow. Whether she gets back with Andrade, which I think will be a great thing. But then again, we could see the return of her husband, Malachi Black, or Aleister Black. That would be epic for her and him to get involved on something on SmackDown. If Aleister Black goes to SmackDown, or he goes right back to NXT. I'd like to have him and Oba go at it. That'd be great. But then again, who knows? But like I said, I went off topic. I apologize, but still, with certain people's opinions, I can't take it at face value. And those two guys I mentioned before, I will never take at face value. I know people don't take me for what I say at face value, but at least I have some good points and some good opinions, and I bring facts, and sometimes I bring receipts too. So you can't fault me for all the bullshit I spew for like 30 minutes or whatever time I go. But still, there's certain things that I talk about and I have opinions on that have merit and have facts. And people come back at me and say, oh, that's a great point, Peter. This and that. So for all you people that say, oh, I don't get comments and this and that. Yeah, I don't, but that's another situation for another time. But, that's why we have a little discussion. Some of our opinions, you might not like my opinion, and I might not like like your opinion, but we have to come to some type of like agreement here. It's like, oh, I don't like, you don't like Roman Reigns. I love Roman Reigns. Why don't you like him? Oh, because he's boring on the mic. I don't think so. It's like, what would you do to make Roman different? And then, they'll give their opinions. Like, this is how I would make Roman different. And then I go, well, this is how I would make Roman. I would keep Roman the way he is. You can't always have what you want, like the Rolling Stones always used to sing. Can't always have what you want in anything, really. But it is what it is. And with the wrestling realm, opinions are, like I said, like assholes. Everybody is one, and everybody has one. And most of them stink. But that's another story for another time. But in any case, I know I went off topic, and I apologize. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here because I got to go to the doctor, and I got other things to do today. I'll be back later tonight with my AEW Dynamite review, even though it was a bad as fuck show. Probably talk about TNA Ring of Honor tomorrow, probably along with SmackDown as the go-home show before Royal Rumbles tomorrow. And then we do Royal Rumble predictions, and then maybe late Saturday night we'll do a review for the Royal Rumble, and then we'll do Collision on Sunday. And we start the first week of February this coming Monday night on the first February episode of Monday Night Raw, the aftermath of the Royal Rumble, as we will be on the road to the Elimination Chamber, coming your way March the 1st from Toronto. And then we'll be on the road to the Royal Rumble. I'm not going WrestleMania, not the Rumble. We're on the road to WrestleMania 41 in Vegas on Easter weekend. We got the Hall of Fame, which will be headlined by The Game, Triple H, which I did a video yesterday about that. Well-deserved for Hunter. And we'll see who comes after that. Hopefully some good ones, and not so much bad ones. And, we'll talk about that later. And all that good shit. But anyway, I know I went 32 minutes, guys, but I had a lot to say about Colonel Debeers and, pertaining that to some opinions here and there. But like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but if you just bash somebody for their opinion, bashing for their opinion, that's one thing, but bashing them as a person and this and that, I think that goes a little bit too far, and I think it's stupid. If you hate somebody for their opinion, then don't watch them anymore, okay? That goes to me, that goes to JD or Sean or whoever, you don't like. If you don't like Issa for her opinion, or Denise Salcido, or, some of the Wrestling Inc. guys that are, do their own thing, that's fine. Or Solo Monster, or whoever. If you don't like their opinions, then do not watch them. Do not. Do your own fucking video on your own channel, whether it be a dead channel, or if you have a lot of subs, great for you. Then do your own video. See how many views you get. If you get a lot, great for you. If not, then, well. But, I know my views are not great. I don't care. But I still have a voice, and I will use my voice, and I will voice my opinion to the wrestling community and the wrestling world, and I will also talk about politics here and there, and baseball and other sports and other things. And that's what I've done for almost 16 goddamn years on this fucking website. And who knows when I'll stop. I might be stopping in a couple months. I don't know yet. I will walk away from YouTube when I feel like walking away. But right now, I just don't want to walk away right now. Because I have an opinion, and I will use it. And I will voice my opinion in video form, or, on the internet. Whether it be on X or Facebook. Not so much Instagram, but, But whatever it may be, I will voice my opinion about wrestling and music and current events and all those shit like that. But if you like it, great. You know where to go. Off my channels, off my social media pages, and pretty much go fuck yourself. That's all I gotta say about that. Anyway, I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta run to the doctor, and like I said, I got other things to do because I have a fucking life. Some of you need to get one. But I digress. Anyway, rest in peace to Colonel Debeers, as I always do. Ceremonial toast to Colonel Debeers. And that's that. So, that's all I gotta say about that. Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below about Colonel Debeers and about the wrestling world. And, that's that. But in any case, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. And as I always say, live life to the fullest because we never know when our last day may be. Take each day as it comes, as my mom would say. Take it one day at a time. You know, if you're having a bad day, you know, you'll get through it eventually, and hopefully the next day will be much, much better. And you don't have consecutive bad days. I know a lot of people deal with depression and anxiety like myself. You know, we have consecutive bad days, bad weeks, bad years, this and that, bad months, you know. But eventually we get through it with the love and support of our family and friends and the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord. You know, if you believe in God. If you don't, well, you know where you're going. But that's another story for another time. But if you're having a bad day, just, you know, take it slow. And hopefully tomorrow will be a better day for you, you know. But just don't give up on yourself and give up on your life, because that's a bad thing. And that's pretty much it. But for everybody who is suffering from depression and anxiety like myself, you're not alone. You know, there are going to be better days, and better days are going to come. Hopefully through this year and through the rest of your life. But, you know, there are going to be days that are going to be bad and troubling, but just get through it. You know, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Don't, you know, go off the deep end and say, I want to kill myself. You know, don't do that. That's stupid. Because you do that, you're not going to see your loved ones, because God doesn't like people who commit suicide, because it's stupid. And people who think that are dumb either. Dumb too, but that's no story for another time. Anyway, I gotta go. Thanks for watching, guys. Colonel Debeers, rest in peace. And that's it. Until next time. Peace.